Okay, Austin, a big win last night against Bayreuth. How was the atmosphere in the locker room afterwards?
Well, afterwards, we just like any other win, we go in the locker room. We're pretty much getting ready to take some of our stuff off as quick as possible, our top gear, because Leosh usually talks to us pretty quickly. He actually tells us to get on the one side of the locker room pretty fast, so that way we can talk and then get out to the fans pretty quick. It was just like any other game. We definitely were excited because Bayreuth is someone that we're very close to in the standings. But overall, it was pretty similar to just winning any other game.
You more exhausted, or are you more happy in that situation?
Well, it depends on how many shots you block and how many times you get hit. But overall, by the end of the game, you usually you pretty much spent all your energy, and you're pretty tired after the game.
How hard is it to cool down after a game and to relax in the night?
Some nights are better than others. When you play Bietigheim, you're pretty energized. Some nights, like I said, when your energy is just completely spent, you fall asleep pretty quickly. Last night was definitely a little bit harder to fall asleep because I was still energized from the game, but overall I fell asleep pretty quickly. So.
Well, you have a job also besides hockey, is that right? Where do you work and what do you do?
My other job is working construction. I was lucky enough to get this job when I was here through my girlfriend's friend's brother, and it all worked out, and I work there during the day, and then I come to practice in the afternoon.
So you have to take off for a road game, or can you be here for all the practice?
Not for all the practices. I usually can't be here during the day, but at night, because we usually have 2 practices a day, Tuesday and Wednesday. But those are the only practices that I unfortunately I miss because I work. After that I come here right away. I schedule the way I schedule my schedule. There we go. I make sure that I am free for the games, that I am available when the team needs me, and I try to put the team ahead of what I have to do, and I scheduled around my other work.
Coming here to Freiburg, you didn't plan to play on the DEL2 team, is that right? How did you get in the team?
I absolutely did not plan on playing. I actually was just trying to figure out how to come over here. Trying to come over here with my girlfriend, and since I did play hockey in the States, I tried sending EHC a message. Since it was the off season, it wasn't as easy as getting a hold of someone, but through a friend of a friend, I ended up getting a hold of Riesla, and it was very fortunate. Started training with them in the off season, and one thing led to another, and I'm still here today.
But you didn't play for 1 year, is that right?
That's correct.
And before that, you played for the Hamline University.
Yes, that's correct.
Can you describe the differences between that year, that time at Hamline and now here?
Well,
what are the main differences?
Well, I would say that they they had their similarities and they had their differences. The big thing is in the States, the big thing is the ice surface.
Yes.
In the States, we usually play on an NHL size rink. There's a few rinks that are Olympic size, like EHC here, which definitely changes the atmosphere of the game, where you have to be on the ice, how you have to react, how fast you have to react. here I would say you have to really think what you have to do, because if you don't, you'll end up losing. The other team takes advantage of it, and next thing you know, the puck's in the back of your net, just on one simple mistake. But there's guys that can absolutely play not only in the Del too, but they can play in the Del. You know, there's guys that that can play in the Oberliga, that can play in the Del too. There are some very close similarities between the leagues that we have here. With the NCAA, it all depends on where you come from. There's different regions throughout the whole United States. So some regions play a little bit differently. They, I guess you can say, play a little bit more European style hockey, versus I guess you can say North American style hockey, a little bit more body checks and and a little bit less finesse. But when you really get up to it, it's what team has the most speed and who can think the fastest. That's usually the team that wins, and that's where the similarities are very close, both here and over in the NCAA.
Give us maybe one example when you did your first games here and you noticed, oh, I have to change something that's really different here.
With the dots and where the boards are, they're wider. So when I first started playing in our preseason games, I noticed that guys were staying really close to the boards, and when they were coming up and they were getting the puck, and I was trying to stay with them, but to get there, but unfortunately I was always 1 or 2 steps behind, and I couldn't catch them or I couldn't hit them because it was that extra length that threw me off a little bit. The speed, for me, because I didn't play for a whole year because I was trying to focus on getting over here, and finishing up my degree in the States. But I definitely had to get my hockey legs a little bit back too as well. But now I definitely think that I figured it out. I'm working. You never say that you have it 100%, but
yes, sure, but you're a fast skater, and in your line also scored last night. So, well, for coming here, that's a big improvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the other side, I watch videos from Hennam University, and I try to figure out how would maybe Nico Linsmeyer, how would Enrico Sacomani, how would some of the Freiburg players from here, how would they perform at college hockey, at university? Could you think? What do you think?
They can hold their own. They have the right mindset. They know how to play the sport. I don't know through an educational background, because that's one of the big things. When you go to NCAA, you're not just playing hockey. You also have to focus on school. If you don't have the grades, you aren't eligible to play. So you need to have the smarts both on and off the ice.
What did you do? What was your studies at college there?
I studied marketing. So I finished that up, and now I have my degree, and then I moved over here. So
you're still in contact with some of the guys from the team, or maybe family and friends from overseas? I'm sure that they follow your games, or maybe they can also watch them on Spray TV or on YouTube. Did you get comments on that?
My parents have actually watched off of Spray TV, and they definitely thought it was interesting. I mean, obviously with the time difference, it's a little they don't understand. They understand the gist of it. Where the puck is going, and you can only imagine what the commentator is trying to say. I do have some friends that I still stay in contact with. I know some people that are not only through my college career, but where I played before that, and some of them are still playing, and one of them's actually in Hanover.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's doing pretty good over there. So,
tomorrow you'll have a lot of time in the bus. So, to vice versa, 2 questions. How do you travel in college to away games, and what do you do in the bus tomorrow?
Well, as I said earlier, there's different regions in the NCAA where I played, and our region was the Midwest region, where it was a lot of the schools were very close to one another, maybe an hour and a half, the farthest.
Okay.
We did have one team where we actually had to drive quite a long way, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and that's when we would take a nice coach bus, kind of like what we have.
Okay.
And depending on how much money your school has and how much it goes towards your program, how much you raise in the off season through sponsors, depicts on where your money goes. Does it go towards travel? Does it go towards equipment, sticks, stuff like that? But no, depending on where you go and the support you have would increase your chances of having a better ride, I guess you can say. But no, we had buses. That's how we would travel, and it just depended on how nice they were and so forth. But what was the other question that you had?
What will you do on all those hours tomorrow?
Well, since we leave at 5 o'clock, I will most likely fall asleep right away. Just to try to pass the time, wake up at a decent time, and probably stand up, move around a little bit, sit, be on my phone, listen to music, of course.
Okay.
Sometimes, well, tomorrow for the long trip, I'll bring my computer and watch a movie or two, and go from there. We'll also have lunch and move around and
some breaks.
And some breaks and pauses, and so that way we just don't have bus legs the whole time.
Okay. So altogether, the FSH, our old hockey rink, the fans here, the DL2 hockey. How would you describe hockey in Germany in your own words to someone from your hometown? What's it like to play hockey here?
I would probably have to say, for me, coming from a small school where I used to play, unbelievable. The fans here are 110% top notch for the team. They're always here. They're always supportive. Even when we have some tough losses, they're still right behind us. I mean, it really goes to show when we have our road games and you see some of the fans in the stands and some of these places that we really go to, how far they travel.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's something that I truly didn't expect when coming here, because I always thought, from personal experience, that hockey was a little bit bigger in, say, Canada or USA or some other big places in Europe, Russia, for example, in the KHL or something like that. But I didn't expect it in the Dell, yes, maybe, but in the Dell 2, not so much. But it blew me away. It's definitely exciting. It's always fun to play in front of all the fans, and it really pushes you to try a little bit harder every single time you go out there.
Austin, thanks a lot for the interview, and of course, good luck for tomorrow and for the rest of the season, of course.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.